It's 6 o'clock. We'll start tonight's meeting, Monday, May 13th, 2024. We'll call the meeting to order. Please stand with me as we recite the Pledge of the United States and Texas flags. Yes. All right. How about we recite the prayer? I bounced over prayer first. We can still stand. Frankie, would you do the honors?
Let's pray. Father God, as we come before you this evening, Lord, first, we thank you and praise you for who you are, for the love that you have for us, even though we are so undeserving. Lord, as we pray this evening, Lord, I hold before you this time, this council meeting, Lord, as we make some changes that have been elected, Lord, and we praise you and thank you, Lord, knowing that you're in control, have been and always will be, and we praise you and thank you for that. Just give us the wisdom, the knowledge that we need to carry on the business of the city, not self-centered, but for the whole of the population of the city of Dalhart. Again, praising you and thanking you, Lord, for the opportunities that we have before us. And it's your precious holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now, will you join me with the Pledge of the United States and the Texas flags? The Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The first thing on the agenda is the consent agenda of the minutes from April 22nd, 2024. And an amendment from February 16th, 2024 special council meeting. I have a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Favor, motion carries. Regular agenda item, public comments. Any public comments? There's no comments. All right, we'll move on to item number 2, presentation of the City of Dalhart Employee Service Awards. And looks like I've got the first one. I've got Amy Shakama. See her here. Amy. Okay, so Sarah Cooley. And then I have a 15-year for Augustine Navarro.
See Augustine.
All right. Well, catch them the next session. All right. Item number 3 is appointment of a canvass committee to canvass the May 4th, 2024 election returns. Gary and Ty, would you canvass the election for me? In Bruno, sorry, yes. How about that, Bruno?
That's everybody wants money, that's what it is. It's always crowded when people want money.
You're talking about their dogs. Maybe said the biggest thing is when you're talking about the dogs or something. Of course not. Dogs are-
Yeah.
Okay, item number 4, consider and or act upon adopting ordinance 2024-10 and ordinance ordering canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the city of Dalhart, May 4th, 2024 general election. Do I need to
No. you
read it, just approve it?
Motion.
Okay. I entertain a motion that we approve the canvassing of the 2024.
Make a motion that we approve. Or act upon the ordinance, 2024-10. For the May 4th, 2024 general election.
Motion, for a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. We'll do the item number 5, we'll do our installation of new council elects, but I would also like to present a couple of plaques before they step down. The first one, we've got Parker for your dedication and your service to the city of Dalhart. Present you with that plaque. And next, we have Frankie. I'm gonna do that first. Frankie, thank you for your years in service. And then Dwayne, yours is not coming yet, but I'm coming to you. Dwayne, thank you for your years in service and your dedication. Right. Our new elect. Take your seats.
They have to be sworn in.
Okay.
So,
So Mr. Spiegel, Mr. Stroud, Mr. Rojas, and Mr. Messer, we'll get you guys sworn in.
You were here, sworn in.
Greg Ambas. All right, inside of your folders, you do have these. You can sign them later, but if you want to look at them, they're in order inside of your folders. So the first one we're going to do is the statement of officer. And what I'll do is I'll read through it, and where I say I, you just interject your name, and then we'll move on forward and we'll do it all together. So I do solemnly swear or affirm that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, or promised to pay,
Contributed
or promised to contribute
to anyone
or thing of value,
or promised any public office or employment, giving, withholding
of a vote at the election in which I was elected or as a reward for my appointment or confirmation, whichever the case may be, so help me God. All right, next we'll do the oath of office. Same thing, you'll just enter your name in the spot there. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of the state of Texas, and will
Texas,
to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution, and laws of the United States, and the state, so help me God.
All right, well, welcome aboard.
Our test is to find what seat you're supposed to be
You'll
sitting.
get a picture.
Okay, so first I've got, we'll do these and we'll get your picture. I've got James Stroud first.
Yeah,
If you want to go ahead and come on up, you've got to find a seat.
I know. Take a partner spot. You get my glasses in there, so I can see. Thank you, sir.
There is this for you.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Spiegel?
How are you doing, sir? All right.
Yeah. All right, welcome aboard. Mr. Messer? You got. Is that it?
Thank you.
And Mr. Ross? You that. Sir, welcome aboard. All right, I'm gonna just,
Thank you.
we'll just swear it.
Don't guess it matters. As long as you're in a spot.
One back here.
Sure.
Yeah, we're missing a chair, so. Okay, moving on to item number 6, consider and act upon funding request for Keep Dalhart Beautiful. And do we have some? Eva? Good evening.
Well, congratulations, new guys. It's a lot easier sitting up there than it is standing here talking to y'all. Makes me a little nervous. I'm Lola Vera and I'm here representing Keep Dalhart Beautiful. And we are coming to request money to get our planting season started. So KDB is down to 3. I guess you can count Alan Milius because Annette has recruited him to do the south bed. The Rotary is going to step up this year and help us do all the planning downtown. Susie Britling and Grace Methodist Church will be doing all of the planning at 7th Street Veteran Park. And then KDB will still do the north and south beds on 87. So our request this year is for $9,000. The Rotary Club are wanting to do topiaries in our pots. And that is a $3,500 one time. And then replace them every 5 years is what we're hoping. So we're going to have something artificial that we can keep in there through the whole season, summer and winter. They will surround them with live plants. Fire department is going to water for us again this year. Selena, is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
Our thought, Christina and I, for Rotary, being in charge of the, we want downtown to be healthy. Instead of hodgepodgey, we want it to look. We deserve beautiful things in Dalhart. And the initial investment is quite a bit, but if you break it up over 5 years, it's $30 per topiary per year. And so I think that's kind of a small investment when you break it up over the length of time that they will last. Because they are quality. B. Wednesday has given us at cost pricing on those, so they're not just Hobby Lobby-ish. They're good, okay. But I really, we're going to surround it with purple and yellow petunias, along with mint and sage and oregano and thyme. Those herbs are drought resistant. They grow quickly, and I just think it'll look really pretty. So.
Susie's not here. She's out of town. But they are going to be doing the veterans bed and the 3 flower beds that are on 7th Street. And last year we really didn't get over there to get those done. There's just 3 of us and we just didn't get them done. So they are really going deep and getting them really mulched this year and new plants put in. And so her concerns over there was, she was just asking if the city might have time to come clean the sand and edge the grass off the sidewalks over there. And she said the prison sign over there is really in need of being replaced. It's really not in good shape. And so I don't know who takes care of that or where that even come, but it's in the park by the beds and it just kind of needs to be freshened up if possible. On 87, I was gonna have a bid tonight for the water. We got the water turned on again this year and we are still soaked. So close to the stoplight, on 7th Street, we just got a mud bog and everything we plant there is just soggy. It's taken over with grass. So if we don't have anybody at the city that can look at that as, again, we're just still looking to try to find somebody to do it. Cody Unruh was gonna give me a bid. He's out 2 weeks before he can even get there. So not sure where.
Water pipes, the sprinkler. Right there.
Well, we have got soppy ground here by where the lights are. And on their other end, we are so dry that we can't get our plants. So we've been going down and watering. Well, Yolanda has been going down watering to keep water. So we have not planted anything new until we can get that issue really solved because we've got,
Why don't you get with me? And
Okay.
let's take a look at it.
okay.
See what we can do.
Okay, we pulled up a whole round place of grass. Dean Graham donated some rocks for us, so we're gonna do a rock garden there. And then we're gonna plant plants around it as soon as we get that issue fixed. So besides the water, the topiaries, everything else is pretty much the same as we've been doing. So that is, and I hope in your package, you guys got all of this and got the picture of the topiaries and everything. Okay. So that is our request from y'all this year.
And last year, you didn't use all the money.
No. We did not, and I'm not really sure that we will use all of this year. We just didn't know with the new topiaries going in, with the water. We didn't do as many plants last year. We're hoping to do more when we get the water situated. So, the greenhouse, WJ is not gonna open this year, so we're getting most everything from the Red Barn. And then our mulch and everything we're trying to do local.
Is the fire department still watering the pots for them downtown, Mario? Cool.
Any other questions from council? I'd entertain a motion to approve KDB's request for funding.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We do have the funding in our current budget, so
Yeah.
it's not up to them. No.
I was gonna ask, but then you, saw you.
Yeah, I know what you're asking.
I was going, huh?
Hi, did you second?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, item number 7, consider and act upon a date for the second council meeting for May that falls on Memorial Day. I feel like probably open for suggestions or did we have anything in our
Tuesday night, we
Tuesday,
good? Is that what you're saying?
like the following night?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if we had anything in ordinance or charter that states if we missed a meeting, we might go out to the following preceding week or,
Do you have EDC that night, Joe?
No.
okay,
So it's clear.
okay. All right, is everybody in
28th?
favor for the 28th?
28 works for me.
All right, do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we set the next city council meeting for May the 28th of 2024. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item 8 on the agenda. Consider and or act upon the request for a block party from the Dalhart Cruisers.
You buy.
Gotta pay for that glass too, Brian.
First off, I want to say thank you, council members, for what you do. Thank past council members for what they do. It is a very thankless job. You make very important decisions and you never get a thank you. A lot of butt chewing. So beyond that, we're asking to close the Denrock Avenue on June the 8th from Second Street, half of Second Street from People's Gym south all the way to Sixth Street, which is right there in front of the senior citizens. And a little bit of the side streets for some vendors to set up. It will be from 8 till 4 on that Saturday is the show. Then that evening from 6 till I think it's 11, we will have it right there, only blocked off the street in front of the courthouse for the dinner and the dance and the dinner and the dance and the giveaway. I've already filled out all the block party paperwork at the police station and have asked city managers to discuss on the dumpsters and the cones that we will set up and take down. So it was Manuel, I'm sorry, Dr. Manuel. So. And it's for bring a lot of people. We bring a lot of people that day downtown. It's growing every year, so. I was requesting that we can have that blocked off that day.
Any questions from council?
I'll make a motion. We approve the application for block party.
Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Thank you.
Motion carries. All right. Item number 9, consider and act upon a recommendation from the Hot Tax Committee on the Dalhart Chamber of Commerce application.
Good evening. Congratulations to you new council people and appreciate again, everything you guys do, you ladies and gentlemen do. I'm here representing the Hot Tax Committee, which kind of oversees the hotel occupancy tax fund, which is maybe new to some of you, but the Hot Tax Committee members are myself, the mayor, Sammy Bhakta, Barry Suka, and Lee Nayek, I think is how you pronounce his last name. And they basically are hotel owners. So they're the ones that are out there on the front line collecting the hotel tax that comes into our community. We had a meeting on May the 6th to review the Chamber of Commerce proposal for expenditures. If some of you will remember, we came back in August, I believe it was, with everybody's presentation from the museum, the theater, the XIT board, and all those, the chamber included. And motion was passed on all of those recommendations except the chambers, and it was tabled at that time. So that we could go back and review some things that some information we didn't think we had and that sort of thing. We did that and we came back, then later, I can't remember exactly when it was, with another proposal to you, which represented a little bit more money that we felt like we had in the fund that we could give to the chamber. So since that time, we have met again, and we've done a lot of research and studying and that sort of thing on the eligibility for hot tax funds according to the state law. And so we met on May the 6th and we reviewed again the chamber's proposal. And basically, when you look at the legislation that was passed concerning hotel occupancy tax money, it's a two-part test. Basically, every expenditure has to directly enhance or promote tourism or conventions in a city that promotes the hotel industry. So that's one criteria the proposal has to meet. Does it enhance or promote tourism? The second part of the test is there are 9 different things that a proposal has to meet, or doesn't have to meet all 9 of them. It has to meet at least one of them. Advertising the city, the promotion of the arts, historical restoration and preservation, convention and visitor center, convention registration, tourist transportation systems, sporting events, and certain small communities, enhancing or upgrading existing sports facilities or fields in certain cities, signage directing the public to signs and attractions that are visited frequently by hotel guests in the city. And so those are things that we have to look at. Does this proposal meet those criteria? And so the chamber in there, and all of the ones that we presented to you before did meet those, including the chamber. But the ones that they specifically meet are, they advertise the city, they have signage that directs the tourists to things in our city. They have brochures in the visitor center that's part of the Chamber of Commerce. So we're a small community. So we've got one building that houses the chamber offices and basically serves as a tourist center. So as tourists come through, they can go there and pick up brochures and that sort of thing. Christy Detweiler is the president of the chamber. She's here tonight and she'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have as we go through this proposal. But those are areas that they directly meet as far as the criteria that the state requires. So we went back and looked at their budget again, just to make sure that they had numbers correct and we understood the numbers and made sure that they fit into these categories. So the chamber has figured out the percentage of time that they spend on tourism related activities, the percentage of their utilities, since it's all in one building, the percentage of their utilities that they spend operating the tourism center, and all of that sort of thing. So they looked at their budget, and Christy came up with, of her salary, 20% of her salary is spent on tourism related activities or advertising the city. The other thing that they actually fall under here is promotion of the arts, because this summer particularly, they're going to be presenting some outdoor concerts and that sort of thing that can be funded through this fund as well. So she felt like that 20% of her time was spent on tourism related activities, and her assistant spends probably 80% of her time because she's actually on the front line there, meeting people that come in and taking care of all that sort of thing. And so their request was for $114,373 that would be related toward tourism activities. And as we looked at that and went back and made sure that it went with the criteria the state recommends and requires, we felt like that number could be presented as a number to you guys to fully fund. Their salaries represent $54,262. Advertising billboards, they're actually stepping out of the box a little bit on a new billboard that they're looking at, which is an electronic billboard that will be placed further out from Dalhart and maybe reach people from a further distance away as they come through here. And then they have utilities and licenses and insurance and all that sort of thing that was broken down in a percentage that could be used for tourism. And so that is our recommendation. I'm going to turn it over to Ken because he's going to talk a little bit more about dollars and numbers with you. Okay.
Thank you, Kevin. One other thing that Kevin is, you only the percentage of payroll you can qualifies the overhead. If it's at 50%, the most you can go use is 50%. Even if it related to 70% of the utilities and overhead, you only go up to 50%. And that's, if you look at the calculation, that's what was consistent across the board. Well, I gave a spreadsheet there, and I know it's a lot of numbers, but I sort of want to talk a little bit. I'm not going to go into great detail, but in general, where we're at. Originally, the council approved about $340,000 for the hot tax and for the individual before then. Tonight, they're asking for another $114,373, which would total approximately $454,000. And you say, okay, how do we pay for that, right? That, you always have to have checks and balances. where we have right this on the bottom line of the spreadsheet, it talks about the hot tax proceeds, what we have received from the hot tax, and it's always 1 quarter behind. So if you look at the number that we have so far this year, we projected to be $550,000 was our budget. And again, if you haven't been into my budget process, I was here a little last year, I always am very conservative with our revenue, so we keep our costs in line. It's easier if we exceed the revenue to up the expenses, but vice versa is a lot harder to do. So again, the approach the city has taken is to be very conservative on their budgeting process. So on the $550,000, we have 3 quarters in. We have the 3rd quarter from last year because we don't receive that until fourth quarter and 1st quarter. So we got 75% of our budget already here. And right now we have already collected 546,000. Normally we'll probably hit it in the $600,000, what's been the last few years as the approach. So the question would be, we give out the hot tax to individual folks. We also had in that cost personnel. We had someone who was in the city that was helped promote that. That person has left. So right now, I'm not filling that position until we get through the budget season. And then the new city manager and the council will decide whether or not we move forward. But right now, I'm using other people that have some spare time to go help with this and working with the chamber. So we're starting to work together a team and how we can maximize our benefit with using a group of folks versus just one folks. So that's where we're going. So far this year, we have spent of that 340,000, we spent about $102,000. So we still, and again, we would see more with XIT coming on board in the summer months. The expenses will go up significantly. The 4th quarter is not a very high activity, as you can see. I've broken out by quarter. So the bottom line is, can we afford the $114,000 from tonight? And in my opinion, yes, you can. Questions?
I have only one question. Okay, Christie, this is for you. Since you just set up the 6 concerts and the $75 rental fee was just established, is that in this money?
$35 rental fee for what?
The amphitheater.
I was never told about that.
Yeah, they just acted on it last week. So I'm gonna assume it's not in there as well.
This is the first time I've heard of that. I spoke with Wes a number of times and I was never told.
It's the only question I had.
Any others? Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
You consider a motion?
I would, I recommend it as well. It's something that I think Christie and the people of Chamber know that, there was a delay, and I think in part because I just wasn't sure what was right for the chamber and didn't want it to be certainly undercut. So I would definitely entertain a motion to approve the chamber's request.
No. Make a motion that we act upon the recommendation of the Hot Tax Committee to fully fund the Dalhart Chamber of Commerce application.
A motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, item number 10 on the agenda is to discuss and or act upon the job training program agreement between the Dalhart Economic Development Corporation, 4B, Frank Phillips College, and the Dalhart Education Foundation, Inc.
So I have to apologize. We put this on our agenda and we found out earlier today there was a mistake in the way that some of this verbiage came in was put out, and Brian would like us to postpone this until our next meeting. Okay. Do you have any questions?
It needs to be a resolution. And therefore, I don't want to waste your time tonight for something we're still going to have to read twice down the road. So rather get it up and running. Like I said, there's a disconnect with our attorney and
Postpone or table?
I want to table this.
Okay.
So then we'll start.
This number 10 and number 11, the same situation.
Table both.
When you make a
Yes.
motion to table then?
Yep, I'd entertain a motion to table.
Make a
10
motion
and
that we table 10 and 11.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Number 12, update on the loss of water pressure through the city of Dalhart on May the 7th, 2024. And I guess that would be Ken.
That's me. Okay, we've had an interesting week this week from Tuesday of losing water pressure to Sunday having water go not stop through our tanks. And there's two of the tanks that overflowed on Sunday. Let me go talk about each of them separately. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think are some of the core issues and how we're going to approach those to resolve them. Do I have 100% solution? No, but I think I have a plan to get us there. Okay. On the morning of Tuesday, May 7th, and Dennis, you're more than welcome to jump in since you have a lot more detail than I do on that. Because on May 7th, the staff noticed that the water pressure was extremely low. We also got probably over 50 phone calls that said, I'm washing my hair and then the water just quit on me. So it was ringing off the hook. And that'll be another issue I'll talk about. Dennis Gonzalez, who's our water and wastewater supervisor, just brand new. We had a changeover in the management of the water system on April 5th. So we had, wait, what?
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, so Dan, what did I say? Dennis, I'm sorry, Daniel, as that. So he was, but I'm trying to get him. He has a B license in wastewater and doesn't have a license in seawater. So he was in training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get him ready to go take his test as soon as possible. I need to get someone as a C, and we'll talk about what I think I also need to do training for the other folks to get them up to at least a C, not just go through. So, and then Dennis was returning from Dallas. So I had the perfect storm that I had a number of folks that have less than a year's experience there. I had Manuel, who used to be over the water department, and I promoted him to over the streets and sanitation supervisor. So I've moved some things around. So when that came in, as Manuel was aware when we moved him, that if I needed to move him back temporarily, he was going back. So we checked the water software. The water department software, and it showed that the 12th Street water tower was low. We went to the Rita Blanco booster station, which is probably our primary hub. Is that
Right, yeah.
And again, checked the water software system and noticed that the groundwater storages were also low. So we turned on the manual pumps and along with the booster pumps to refill the tower and street on 12th Street, and also the airport water tower back to a normal level. The water system started to return to normal about noon. 5 o'clock comes. Guess what happens at 5 o'clock? A big demand for water. So we saw that go down again. Again, the water department manually turned on the wells and arranged the booster pumps to where it would best fill the 12th Street water tower and all ground storage. So that's happening there. By that time, Dennis was traveling back from Dallas. He was able to arrive. During the day, I appreciate, Dennis, that you were on the phone and Daniel was on the phone, giving ideas, brainstorming, those type of things to help with it, find out what the issue is. When Dennis came back to the plant, we worked on it for an hour or so, couple hours, and then we decided that we needed to baby the plant. So the folks that were there starting at 7 o'clock, the water department stayed, the whole water department stayed, but they did an all night in shifts. So it's not like all 3 or 4 of them sat there for the whole night. We did shifts to make sure that the water system was up and running. The next morning, I know Dennis was there at 7, and so was Daniel to check the wells. And the system seemed to be back to normal around 9 a.m. Wednesday. So we had a hiccup. Now the question is, that was a hiccup we didn't need, and it impacted our citizens, and that's bad. We're here to to provide a service and that they pay for, and we need to make sure that we provide that service adequately and not have these type of problems. Couple things that I thought about the root causes is that the water department, again, I talked about, has had a high turnover over the last 2 years. We just keep on going and through them faster than we know what we're doing. The water department manager left the city on April 5th, which he had probably extremely amount of knowledge of the water system. The other folks did not, and that was probably something we didn't do a very good job of training, of having at least, I always like to have 2 backups when you have a system like that, so that if one's not there, you still have another one. If you only have one that knows all the information, you're at risk across the board. So that would be one. The second thing is a lack of training of our SCADA water software system by the staff. That's big. What we are planning to do is to schedule training for all staff members in the water department by High Tide. High Tide is the developer of the software, and that's something I'm trying to get ASAP. Knowledge is critical right this moment to go where we're at. The second thing that I'd like to go make sure that we have is that we have updates or create new standard operating procedures, SOPs they call them, that we go and say, what happens? I will tell you where I was at my last city. We didn't have them in books. We had these big boards with plastic that said, if this happens, here's your checklist. You start A, B, C, D, going down until you get it right. And even we had pictures that says, okay, you need to turn the purple valve at a certain place. We show a picture of the purple valve. And we had that on 5 different critical situations. I don't think we have that here, Dennis, but I think that's something, again, the folks don't need to go run into looking for manuals when there's a crisis. You'd like to keep it up front and look where we're at. So we're going to try to go do that over the next couple of months of having what's our 5 critical things, what are the steps to go. They may already have SOPs. I just don't think they're as visible as we could across the board. So the other thing is we, the city, need to develop a plan to communicate to our citizens. We should have sent something out saying, either on Facebook or on our website. Facebook gets more exposure than the website does. It's just, that's a matter of, but saying, hey, we have a water pressure problem at this place, and put it out there. So I'm working on a plan of how do we go communicate to our citizens instead of them getting frustrated, calling us and trying to tell us there's an issue. We would say we have it. And it's just not for water. It could be weather. It could be chemical spills or street closures.
Hartley County has the text that we'll send out for weather and anything that's going on the highways. We might, do we?
It's called Notify Me and it's on our website. Any citizen can sign up for it.
So we need to start pushing that then.
Yeah, that's another option, but I still think my experience has been putting it on a website, we don't get this big exposure as we do as Facebook.
Yeah.
So that, I think we have to do dual or as many as we can afford, because I think communications is absolutely critical across there. So that's that was Tuesday. Yesterday, Mother's Day, we went the opposite direction. The system didn't shut off. The software should have shut off when we got to a certain level on the tanks. There were 2 tanks on 12th Street and also on the Rita Blanco storage that were overflowing. We were able, this water staff, the whole water staff came out again Sunday afternoon and manually shut off the inflow. Got to go find out what's wrong with our software. So we're in communication with High Tower to say, we need someone up here ASAP to evaluate our software and see what's going on. It's not good to have too much water or not enough water. We got to go have some critical things. That's what I'm giving you an update on. It's not what I would like to talk about, but I think it's important that you guys are aware of what things happen. Not making any excuses. There's no excuse. It is, how do we fix what our gotchas right this moment? Questions?
Know that the water department, like Kim was saying, they are young, inexperienced. I think their guys are just got maybe 4 guys that only have 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Right before, well, when I got on there, I knew about the SCADA or the high tide. So I contacted the gentleman or the people that put that in for the city. And they should, I told Daniel to go ahead and get a hold of this guy named Mike and get things set up. So they're,
Did their phone numbers get put in the auto dialer?
no, there's just a couple that are on there. So that'll all be part of their training where they can put from the man on call to the supervisor to the foreman and to servicemen.
I do know that they called the 24-hour hotline, and they got no answer from her.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a setup so that the citizens never know
Yeah.
that they get a call before they're ever in trouble. So, but if their numbers were never put in to it, they never got the call.
Good input. Appreciate that.
My question, Dennis, do they offer, so this high tide software app the use for this, do they offer continuing training for the crew, or how do
They
they?
probably do. I mean, I just happened to call the company that put it in and just asked them, they're out of Amarillo. And I asked if they could do some training, so more likely they can do the training for different as your crews
As they change.
change. Yeah, they probably do that.
Just like it did when it started up,
Yeah.
when we put it in.
What I will do is update you on a quarterly basis of where we're at on this progress, if you don't mind, or you'd rather have it monthly. I'm not sure how much progress I can do within 30-day time frame, but 90 days, I should be able to say, this is what we have fixed, if that's all right with the council.
I would think we need it monthly unless we had a problem.
Okay. If it's a monthly, I definitely would bring it to here. So it's not, I mean, I'm going to tell you the good, the bad and the ugly of what we're doing here and give you guys, because you're the ones that sets the priorities. And
Another thing that they could do too is probably do like a mock scenario and that they
okay.
unplug the SCADA where it's not communicating with all the different wells, pumps, everything. I mean, that's something that they could do.
Well, and I had them put that secondary switch on that ground storage too, so they should have had it.
I mean, there's different things
second
that
alarm.
they could do in training.
Again, having no training. and-
Yeah, they would have never got the call if they're not in the dollar.
Lessons learned, and we're moving forward. All right. If there's no further discussion, we'll go ahead and move on. Let's see here, we've got item number 13, discuss and or act upon an agreement for contracting services for the city of Dalhart's water department.
Okay, with Dennis, becoming a council person, it found that we initially said last month that he could continue being on both. And that was probably, we did not consider, one of the ordinance that we had. There were some questions about it. But, what I didn't understand was that city ordinances trump state. I thought it was the other way around. Brian, do you want to comment on that or just,
Yeah, I mean, specifically, it's the city charter provisions. So under applicable state law and attorney general opinions, it would have been okay. But because we have the specific charter provisions in section 21 of the charter and section 139 of the charter, and specifically the 139, it says no member of the council shall have a financial interest, direct or indirect, in any contract with the city. And due to that charter provision, which can be more restrictive than state law, then he couldn't do both.
okay, so with that in mind, I thought we had a solution and then Dennis had to make a decision. It was a tough decision because I know he's went back and forth on that. And first of all, I want to thank Dennis for all his help during a critical time for us because we were in a bind, and you did a great job of coming in and helping us. And thank you for that, sir. So Friday, we decided that we needed to find a new person. God takes good care of me sometimes. And also I have some great people that when I often looked and said, who else could we ask that has a C license? There's not that many around across the board. And both Daniel and Manuel came back and said, we talked to a person named Jacob Winkler, who was with the city. I don't know how long he has, but he was here for a while. And he's working for Dalhart. Dalhart, yeah. So he can come probably 2 hours on Tuesday from 3 to 5, Wednesday from 3 to 5, Thursday to 3 to 5. So that's 6 hours, and he's off Friday, and he's willing to go work 8 hours Friday. So I am proposing, again, I need a C license person. And what I have done is I've given the same contract that Dennis had that was approved. And he has a C license both in groundwater and wastewater. So we're covered. I met with him Friday and asked him a few questions. Again, he seems knowledgeable. He's eager to go do that. And like I said, I will miss Dennis because of his experience and tenure, but I'm excited about having Jacob at the same time. So tonight I'm asking that the council could consider approving this contract so that we can continue making some progress with the water department with a qualified C licensed person.
Move we approve the contract.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Carries. All right. Item number 14, discuss and or act upon recommendations from the city of Dalhart Scholarship Committee recipients for the Bonnie DeJarnay Scholarship.
Okay.
Come on.
What did you sit down for?
Why don't I sit down, right? Why don't I sit down?
Just taking the whole.
Okay, this is real exciting. Their committee met, God, I don't know, May 1st, to talk about our annual scholarship from the fund. So, I won't go into the history because you guys know better than I do what the history of that is. The thing was, we used to only give out two $2,000 scholarships a year. With the fund has been growing, and it's over $1 million right this moment. So with the interest rates that are high right this moment, we were able right now for the first 6 months, that fund has received about $27,000 worth of interest. And what the committee who are the two judges, the school superintendent and the mayor, got together and I sort of encouraged them that what happens if you guys would increase the number of participants, because schooling is just going out of this world right this moment, and use what we have earned so far. Instead of doing two 2,000 ones, could we do 5 $4,000? So that's 20 of the $26,000 we've already collected in interest, and we still have 6 more months of interest to collect. So the committee has suggested that we go off and give 5 scholarships at $4,000 for the first 2 years. And I think that's an excellent job and a good investment in our community. I was just reading the paper today how well this committee, and there's someone in the audience right this moment. I'm amazed that it's given so much to the education. And I don't want to embarrass him, but we'll go from there. But he's done a great job. So I think this is worthwhile investment in our community. So I'm recommending that the council will approve this.
You might let some of I'm sure a lot of these guys don't know. The only there's a provision in that, the money that was left, as long as they don't dip into the
The base, yeah.
initial amount, it's okay. Any, this disperse the interest.
And you could change it year from year. So if the interest rates go down, then you'll have to say either, it's every year, it's a committee that,
We used to just budget 2 because you could almost get 3, but you couldn't.
yeah. But like I said, with the interest rate rising over the last couple of years, it's made a big difference. Thank you, James.
I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion.
4,000.
All right, I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I sit down?
Motion carries. Thanks. All right,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
motion,
Second.
second. I had a bunch of seconds. All in favor? Carries.
Christie, do you want?
Sorry about you. You know what, though, Gene?
We've got to leave these in place. right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That
we
was-
gotta clean 'em.
You know, it's just